Hey, what's up everyone? In this video, we're going to be looking at the listing types for the upcoming Canvas starter site. So let's go ahead and dive in. From the MyListing Club website, that's mylisting.club, we're going to take a look at the build notes for Canvas, just so I have a quick reference for everything that I want to mention here in this video. I'm sure I'll forget some things, but that's part of the reason those build notes are there. So from the MyListing Club website, that's mylisting.club, right here on the home page, we're going to click this MyListing Starter Sites card. We're then going to click this Explore button to find the sites, and then we're going to click into Canvas here. This is the upcoming starter site that should launch in the very near future. We're going to scroll down here to the build notes, and I previously had a section earlier today where I was just going to call it listing types, or a toggle section, whatever you want to call it. I've now combined these. I think it made more sense to combine these. So now instead of just single listings and listing types being their own little toggle, they are combined. Okay. Only really important is if you've been following along and you've been reading the build notes up to this point. Otherwise, don't worry about it. Okay. So we're just going to be looking at what I've tacked on here, which is here at the top, this listing types section. This section below that was for mainly around like the features of the single listings and everything, rather than just focusing on, how the listing types were built and things of that nature. Okay, so let's see. Right off the bat, I mentioned the Canvas starter site is built to be used for any directory. This is a huge point for Canvas, if not the biggest one. The idea was to build Canvas so that you could use it for any type of directory. The design and the content and all of that was unopinionated. What that means is, like if you take the Fit starter site, for example, it's very opinionated. It is for a specific niche. It's for fitness. Or the Vow web starter site, that is for the wedding industry. While all of those, any of the starter sites I've built can be turned into literally any directory of any niche that you can think of. I've seen it happen over and over again. Where people took Fit, for example, and turned it into like a beauty website, or I've actually seen people take Fit and turn it into a wedding website, like in Vow, and turned it into a site that had nothing to do with weddings, and so on and so forth. But Canvas, more than any other starter site that I've ever built, was intended to be really unopinionated and built for any directory type, okay? As such, Canvas consists of all kinds of listing types rather than listing types for a particular niche. So you're going to see, when I show you here in a second, you're going to see all kinds of different listing types that don't necessarily have to do with each other. I would say that the one maybe potential niche idea that you could come to your mind is like maybe a city or a town or anything that has to do with like a local directory. Right off the bat, you're probably going to notice that this would be a slam dunk for that. But the goal is I'm going to add more listing types over time that have nothing to do with each other. So if that makes any sense. Canvas customers can easily adjust the existing listing types and clone listing types for use with other listing types for their niche. So what I mean by that is you can take the park listing type and you could clone it and you could turn it into something closely related to a park, like something else for the outdoors, or you could clone the business listing type and use it to sell something, or you get the idea. You can clone an existing listing type, kind of tweak it and make it into a listing type for yourself. You don't have to be a Canvas customer. Obviously, you can download the listing types as you want. So if we go to menu, we'll pull up the resources page here, and I'll just quickly show you. If you sort by Canvas and you sort by listing types, you'll see all the listing types. There's currently 8 available. Like I said, more to come. But these are the current ones there. And you can download these as part of a club membership if you don't want to buy the starter site. All right. Like I said, over time, new listing types will continue to be added to Canvas, and Canvas customers can request a copy of the new listing types for no additional charge. So when the starter site launches, let's say I add another listing type a week after it launches, and you notice that, or you are in the club community and you see my announcement for it, and it's something that you're interested in, you can just reach out to me and say, Ryan, I would like a copy of it, and I will get that for you if you purchased the starter site before. Okay. New listing types will only be announced in the club community. So that's where I will jump in. I'll say, hey, new listing type is available. Just making that announcement. That's the only place it'll be announced. Okay. MyListing worksheets. I used the club's MyListing worksheets to create the listing types. If you want to see precisely how I structured the taxonomies, the fields, the advanced search, anything that has to do with the listing types, it's all right there for you to reference and even copy from the worksheets. As I build additional listing types for Canvas, I'll also update the worksheets with those. So let's quickly look at those. So these are extremely powerful. I am adding to these at all the time. They've got, I don't know what percentage, 90, 95% of every setting available that you could possibly have within the listing types, specifically speaking of this video. But the same could be said too for the listing fields, these listing packages, and taxonomies. They are extremely thorough. And as I've been building out this Canvas starter site, I've been diving even deeper and making these super granular. So let's go ahead and look at this. I'm going to scroll down here. We'll really quickly take a look at each of these as they relate to Canvas. So you'll see here, global demo, that is the global listing type for Canvas. And then we've got expert, business, event, lodging, restaurant, park, and hike. It's every listing type I've built and all of their taxonomies. So it's exactly how I have them laid out in the actual Canvas starter site. So that's the taxonomies. These are the exact listing packages that are used with Canvas. And in general, they work in general for any of the starter sites I've built. Listing fields, same thing. You can see all of the listing types up here at the top, exactly how I've laid out the fields, the settings that I've used for each one. There's lots and lots of data in here. So if you're a club member, you get access to this, and all you need to do is click this copy base icon down here, and you can copy literally these entire worksheets if you want. And then lastly, these are the listing types. And instead of columns, these are more in rows. But here you see the global listing type and then all of the other listing types down there. And again, lots of detail, lots of information in there. So we've got the general settings, we've got the single page settings, the preview card settings, the advanced form, the explore tabs, literally exactly how I built this stuff. All right, so enough about the worksheets, enough about the resources there. Let's continue on, wrap this up pretty shortly. Global listing type. This is just a special mention here. A global listing type was created that searches filters across all listing types on Canvas. Canvas is the only starter site I've ever implemented a global listing type. I might go back to the other starter sites and implement one, but for now, I didn't really see the need. But since there's going to be so many different listing types here, I wanted to showcase what a global listing type could look like. And I actually had a request from a few people, over the years, hey, could you show us a working global listing type setup? So I also was able to handle that. When users visit the Canvas Explore page, so I'll go ahead and click on that, the global listing type will be the default listing type selected. So as we see here, we hit the Explore page, and this all listings is what I called the global listing type. In the back end, if you're a customer of Canvas, you'll notice it's called global. I'll show you that real quick. So here's the name of it in the back end. So it's just called global. And then on the front end, I just put it as all listing, just because people using a MyListing website that's just a visitor or a user, they're not going to know what you mean by global. So that's why I said all listings for that. And again, this is the default, we'll call it landing page section for the Explore page. Okay. What else? The global listing type is also accessed from the primary navigation menu using the all listings menu item. So if, say, they land on the home page, and then they come up here under the Explorer, and we see this all listing menu item. So if we click on that, it's going to take them to the same location. Okay, what else? The global listing type is a free download to anyone with a club account. Okay, so if you have a club account, for whatever reason, it's just a free download. It's not going to count against your downloads or anything like that, or you don't need a membership or anything like that. It's just a free download. All right. And what else? And then there's just a link here to all of the listing types, which I already showed you here. Okay, so that is that. Let's quickly run through these, and I'm just going to cover the things that I haven't already covered in other videos, namely the single listings videos. So here we are. Again, we've got the global listing type, all listings. We're starting out here with category cards, and then we've got features. And these are across all listing types. Okay, so it's going to pull in all of those, and all of them that are available. It's going to be pulled in here. I took the time on this starter site to pull in unique premium images. These are images that you would have had to pay for. They are available to you to use, to freely use. But I took the time to go through all categories, all tags, which is the categories and features you're seeing here, and put a unique premium background image on these. Okay, that is the only area of this starter site that will have images, is within these listing types, categories, and features. That's it. Everything else will be placeholders, with one more exception, which I'll show you in a second, and I showed in a previous video. Sorry, real quick, going back to the global. These are the filters for the global, and these will search across all listing types. So whatever you put in here as your filter, it will filter across all listing types, as I keep saying. Okay. All right. So let's jump over to the experts listing type. I covered this in the listing preview section in the video before, but unique to this, the listing type config contributes to how this stuff looks, right? So it's not only contributing to these filters and these categories and these services, and things of that nature. Oh, also services here for the expert listing type is a custom taxonomy. So far, it is the only custom taxonomy I've needed to create across this entire, across all of these listing types. So that was the only one so far. And then as you see there, I put unique premium images in these. No cheesy images, like none of that cheesy images that you can just tell. These actually look like real people, real situations, and things like that. So I took a lot of time to find those perfect images. Okay. But yeah, so like I said, the listing type for the expert, it contributes to how this stuff is built with that's where you configure what the preview card data should show, the quick action data should show, what should be at the bottom of these cards as far as actions, things of that nature. Okay. Clicking into the expert single listing, again, listing types are what builds all of this. So we're looking through all of these various tabs and features and stuff like that. That all comes from the listing type. Okay. Switching over to the business listing type, you'll see, these services are pulling in for them, for that listing type, categories and all the filters, and so on and so forth. We'll quickly dive into the business listing. Okay. Every listing type is different. It's not cookie cutter. There's a lot of similarities, but they are all different. And another key piece is they are built by hand, top to bottom. I did not go and use listing types that I've already created and use them verbatim. This stuff is built from the ground up to make sure everything is set. Not that they weren't set before, but it was just, with the other starter sites, but these are unique. So I wanted to do it from the ground up and just make sure everything was hunky dory. Okay. And there's some uniqueness and styling and stuff like that. So I had to all be done from the ground up. Okay. But you get the idea. Some areas do look similar. It's a MyListing website. It's hard not to have some things look similar, but there are differences amongst all of the listing types. Okay. Then we've got the events listing type. You can see the filters changed. You can sort by the event dates. You got the categories and the features. Let's dive into one of the event listings. You see a uniqueness right here. You've got the unique countdown styling. This one's got, a tickets tab, and so on and so forth. Let's go to lodging. We've got the categories and the features. And once again, we've got our filters. And let's dive into a listing type. Make a reservation is a unique block in here. For this one, this is going to go to an external website. Let me quickly, most of this is the same. There's an offers tab. If you click the CTA at the top, it drops you right into that tab, as you see there. Okay, let me go back real quick to the experts. One thing that's unique about this one is if you want to book a consultation, you can click this book consultation button and this pulls up cow.com. I've got videos and stuff about this free solution for booking, which will be used throughout the Canvas starter site. Another unique feature is the embed Google reviews. So I've already got videos and check the build notes for Canvas on that too. So I won't cover that again in this video. Restaurants, again, filters will be the default view on this one. Then you can see the categories and the features. Again, all these images are unique, high quality images. Okay, let's dive into a restaurant listing. Kind of similar, all very, if you can't tell, my style, like everything really clean, nothing too cluttered, lots of, just clean. It's the word I like to keep using. Make a reservation. This is going to go to an external website. If you want to click this menu, call to action up here, it's going to drop you right into the menu tab there. So that's cool. You can list your popular menu items if you're a restaurant. Looking at the parks, this default view is going to be the categories. Again, high quality images, features, again, high quality images. And we look at the features here. And let's dive into a park listing. Very similar. You will see some differences. There is a weather widget that does the forecast, and this is dynamically pulled in based on the location. So as we see here, our location is Charlotte, North Carolina, which we also see here in our URL, Charlotte, North Carolina. We see the weather pulls in for Charlotte, North Carolina. Clicking on this toggle right here, we can pull up a menu to do, all kinds of different things. If you want to see just clouds and precipitation, satellite view, so on and so forth. Really important, especially when you're like trying to get out there and go to a park or take a hike and the mountains and stuff like that. Really important to know what that weather is going to be. Let me go ahead and refresh this. And then you can scroll here and check the different dates. Give it a second to update. You can check all the dates and the forecasts and things like that. Now, this uses a free service called Medio Blue. So if you are, whether you're a Canvas customer or you want to do this on your own, you can go out to Medio Blue, configure your embed information and dump it in. And you don't have to have all of this information in here. You can filter out some of this and choose whatever you want in there. Okay. What else? I think that's about it for uniqueness for the parks. Same thing. If you want to click offers, maybe the park has offers for selling tickets for something or whatever. You click that, it's going to dump you right into that tab. And last but not least is hikes. And this one was an absolute beast. Tons and tons into this one. Again, high quality images for all of the types of hikes, all of the different features that are part of hiking. And let's go ahead and before we dive in, you'll see a uniqueness in the preview card, which right off the bat, we're showing the mileage, the difficulty of the trail, and the elevation gain of the trail. Clicking into this hike listing, you're going to see a ton of differences, lots more information here. So right off the bat over here, we've got a bunch of like location and access information. If you want to get to right to the trailhead, you can click these coordinates. It's going to take you right there. Lots of information about the hiking trail and how to get a permit, things like that. I've put in some dummy links here that I would recommend people use, is just giving people ideas. So like if you want to link to an internal blog post about the top hiking gear recommendations that you might have, or any other blog post that you create, that's already set up for you to edit. And then If you want to link to external websites, I've got the correct icon in place for that. I've also got these set up to open in new browser tabs, whereas these internal links open in where they should, which is to your actual website. We've got the forecast down here again. And what else? Camping reservations. That will go to an external website where they can do their reservations. And we've got an all trails map here of the actual trail that is mentioned in this listing. They can click on this link and it'll actually go out to all trails and get the actual information. Unique here, like the other ones, we've got the main gallery and the bonus gallery. And this one I called it trail conditions, which it's still underneath. It's still the bonus gallery. Okay, and then everything else is pretty much the same. And then the store, if like maybe the trail or whatever has merchandise, like here in the United States, the Pacific Coast Trail is extremely popular, and they sell hats and shirts and sweatbands and everything else. So you could think, well, let's go to the store. I need to fix that link, which I will do right after this video, but that store link will take you right to that store tab. Okay, I'm not sure what happened. I think it's just I got to set it to open. I think I have it set to open in a new tab. That's all it is. Quick fix, but that's how it will work. I'll take care of that right away. All right, guys, that is it. These may not seem like much, but there is let's look at the park, for example. There is a tons of time that goes into building these, tons. Getting all of these fields. Oops, sorry, that's the wrong one. Let me go back here. Looking at the hike specifically, like this one took a very long time to build. You can see all the fields, all the sections. You got to, then you got to make all the decisions, like what are the choices, whether it's required, whether it should be shown in the listing comparison modal, other special tweaks. Then you get over to the single page and you got to build all of these blocks so that they're logical, and configuring all the embeds so they work for the forecast and the navigation and all that. I'm not saying it's like you're going to get some overly complicated situation when you buy the starter site. It's not. It's very simple, but it's like getting to that point. Setting up the preview cards, setting up the search forms. It takes a lot of time to get. If you care to make this stuff really high quality and function well and look good, it takes time. You can't just slap this stuff together. So a lot of time and a lot of care went into these listing types. All right, guys, hope all's well. I will catch you in the next video, and inching closer and closer to launching this. Very excited. See ya.